because the judge knows whatever he's going to do. He said that Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million, and it's worth $1.5 billion or thereabouts. But he said it was worth $18 billion. So they defrauded us because he called me a fraud. He called me a fraud, and he values Mar-a-Lago at $18 billion. $18 million. And you can't do that. It's worth probably 50 to 100 times more than that. And our corrupt attorney general, she's totally corrupt. She just wanted the publicity to run for governor. And then she failed running for governor. She had practically nothing in terms of vote. But she went after Trump because she was running for governor. That's the only reason. But she got the judge to value Mar-a-Lago for $18 million. When the smallest house in Palm Beach is probably worth $50 million. My financial documents are valued much less than my actual value, which nobody even knows. But the financial documents that I gave to the bank are much less than my actual net worth. So therefore, I gave them to the bank. They can't be a fraud because I gave them lower numbers. But I'm a private company. I was never going to reveal this kind of stuff, but now it comes out. It comes out because a corrupt attorney general sued me for fraud. And then they found out they had no case. And they have no case. And today, if you read the New York Law Journal, they basically say they have no case against Trump. But I'm here, stuck here, and I can't campaign. I'd rather be right now in Iowa. I'd rather be in New Hampshire or South Carolina or Ohio or a lot of other places, but I'm stuck here because I have a corrupt attorney general that communicates with the DOJ in Washington to keep me nice and busy because I'm leading Biden in the polls by a lot. That's all this is. This is election interference. And the judge already knows what he's going to do. He's a Democrat judge. In all fairness to him, he has no choice. He has no choice. He's run by the Democrats. What's going on here is a shame. Our whole system is corrupt.
To meet your obligation here of presenting the information in accordance with GAAP, was Alan Weisselberg responsible for that?
Object to the form.
I would say yes.
Do you recall being on a video conference call in 2021 to discuss the statement of financial condition that was also included Mr. Bernie, Mr. McConney, Don Jr., and Ray Flores?
I don't remember a video conference in 2021 talking about the statement of financial condition. Did I mean, maybe you could show me something, but again, I don't think I ever signed a statement of financial condition. I don't, I've done a lot to try and jog my memory, and I simply can't because I don't think I've ever had any involvement in the statement of financial condition, to the best of my knowledge.
Earned your BS in economics from Wharton. Do you have any familiarity with an acronym GAAP, G-A-A-P?
Generally accepted accounting principles, yes.
Okay. How did you become familiar with that acronym?
Probably in Accounting 101 at Wharton.
Okay. What do they teach you about generally accepted accounting principles in Wharton?
Well, I'm not an accountant, but that they are generally accepted.
Anything else?
That's pretty much what I remember from Accounting 101. So.
Have you told me everything you know about GAAP?
Basically. I'm sure I could come up with some creative stuff to kill time, but I'd be doing neither of us a favor in terms of educating ourselves.
Okay. Thank you. So, fair to say you've never been employed in a position that required you to apply GAAP to your work?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Tell me everything you know about GAAP. What is GAAP?
Generally accepted accounting principles. I don't know what's in GAAP. I never took the CPA exam.
Okay.
And never studied for it. So I don't know all the various components of what GAAP is.
Are there any components you know about what GAAP is?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
What years were you involved in preparing the SOFC?
11, 12, 2013, 2014, I believe 2015 as well.
Okay. And what about 16 and 17?
No,
No.
not that I recall.
Okay. And why was that?
Busy with other things, and it wasn't something I was tasked to do by Mr. Trump.
For those specific years, he didn't ask you to do it?
I don't recall if I did. I don't believe so.
Okay. So for the years that you said you were involved, the 2011 through 2014?
2015.
And 2015. Okay. So for those years, you were asked to be involved. Is that correct?
Correct.
Directly from the president?
Correct.
Okay. And you worked with Alan Weisselberg on those, is what your testimony is, right?
Correct.
Okay. How did the Trump organization value an asset? Let's call it Seven Springs. How would the Trump organization value that asset for the SOFC?
For what year?
2000. I mean, it's a general question. It's frankly not per year. It's,
Okay.
they have a process. What was the process?
The goal was to use each of the assets and increase its value in order to get to the end result number. It was basically backing in numbers to each of the asset classes in order to attain the number that Mr. Trump wanted.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. What you're saying is there was a number for Seven Springs, for instance. Let's use Seven Springs as an example. And you had to back into that number?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So
What I'm saying, so Mr. Trump would call Alan and I into the office, and let's say it said he was worth $6 billion. Well, he wanted to be higher on the Forbes list, and he then said, I'm actually not worth $6 billion. I'm worth 7. In fact, I think it's actually now worth 8 with everything that's going on. Alan and I were tasked with taking the assets, increasing each of those asset classes in order to accommodate that $8 billion.